Hi, I'm Reina and welcome to my vegan kitchen. Today we're gonna make kare kare, which is vegetables in peanut sauce. Traditionally, it's made out of oxtail and the process is very long. There's just so many components to it. It's a very popular dish in the Philippines. Not necessarily where I come from, but it's so popular that I decided to veganize it for everybody. And I'm going to show you how I do it. First, what we're going to do is we're going to blanch the green beans because they take quite a while to blanch. I'm just going to add it in. So it'll probably take about 5 minutes. Just cook it halfway, not all the way. About 5 minutes. And after that's done, we're going to put it in an ice bath to maintain the color. And then we're going to go back here and we're going to cut some vegetables. There's a Filipino eggplant. It's so weird. You can use whatever eggplant you have. So I'm gonna cut this 2 ways and I'll tell you why in a minute. Half of it, I'm gonna cut it in cubes because this is going to go inside the kare kare, okay? About maybe like an inch big, okay? And then these ones, I'm gonna cut on a diagonal or circles if you want. I'm gonna fry these in oil because traditionally with the oxtail, it's very gelatinous, you know, because there's so much fat in the oxtail. So this is going to mimic that, believe it or not. I know it's kind of weird. So while we're waiting for the oil to get hot, usually in kare kare there's annatto powder. There's no taste to this. This is purely color. Sometimes they use annatto oil, annatto seeds, and then they'll fry it in oil and the oil turns red, and then that's how they do it. Also, another staple ingredient is the peanut butter, of course. And then there's the shrimp paste, which we're going to change into something else. And this is black bean and garlic sauce. And you can find this in all supermarkets, and that's gonna serve as the shrimp paste. And then we have some peanuts that we're going to garnish in the end. We also have baby bokchoy. It's also very popular. We call it pechay in the Philippines. I'm also going to use tofu because we need that added crunch as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cube this and deep fry it. Same as what we're doing with the eggplant. I drained this. This is a firm tofu. I drained it first so that when you fry it, it doesn't splatter all over the place, which happens to me all the time. Okay, we're going to do the tofu first because this takes the longest. I shouldn't be scared. I burn myself all the time. Woo! Turn the heat down to low. We're just gonna brown these on both sides, or all sides. And then we're gonna go check on our green beans and shock them. We're putting it in ice water because we're going to stop the cooking process. And also it maintains their color, vibrant green color. Gonna let it sit there for a little bit. I'm gonna check on our tofu. So these guys are ready. I'm just gonna put some paper towels on the plate. I'm just gonna drain these guys out. And I'm gonna do the same exact thing with the eggplant. Okay, we just want crispy on the outside and soft and chewy on the inside. You know, we're just trying to mimic some textures here because it's very important. I think the taste is so easy, we can mimic that real fast, but it's the texture that is kind of tricky when you're veganizing things. So this is what I do. I fry some things, I grill some of the things. So I do a lot of things with plant-based stuff so that it mimics the meat, and I think I'm well known for that. All right, so eggplant next. What we want. So while this is browning, we're going to cut some bokchoy. So we're just not going to include the bottom part because these are kind of a hard part of it. So we're just going to cut it in half. That's done. So we have all our vegetables prepped. We have our green beans, we have our tofu, our eggplant, our bokchoy. Now we're ready to put all this together. With vegan cooking, you have to add a little bit more oil than you would with real meat because this is going to act as a kind of our fat, you know, in the dish. first things first, we're gonna add the annatto powder. We're just gonna melt this in there, just for color. If you don't have this, it's fine, but it really does make the aesthetic, and it just, you know, it just mimics the real kare kare. So I would do it. I would do it. So we're gonna add about a tablespoon or 2 of black bean garlic sauce. And then we're gonna add that to the mixture. Next, we're gonna add the peanut butter. And you can use crunchy. You can make your own peanut butter. I've seen people do that. You can use, you know, but I always use creamy because it just makes the stew really smooth that way. So I'm at a low heat now, so I'm just kind of mixing it all together. So see how it's already coming together, so pretty. And now we're gonna add the water. So we're adding water because we're still gonna cook the bokchoy. Usually, the original kare kare with oxtail would take hours. I mean, hours. You have to tenderize the meat so it falls off the bone. This one, don't need to do that. So eventually, once all this sauce comes together, you'll see how really creamy and pretty and beautiful it looks. So I'm gonna add the bokchoy in now because it still needs to cook. And see, you can tell that the sauce is already thickening really fast, and once it does that, you can also add more water, okay? More water just so we can cook the bokchoy. So now, I'm gonna add in my green beans since I can tell that the bokchoy is almost there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add half of my tofu, so I'm gonna reserve the rest for the top, for the garnish. And then I'm also gonna add in the eggplant, okay? Just mix that all together. And again, if it gets too thick, you can always add more water. Everything's done, so now we're just gonna plate it and garnish it. So we're gonna cut some green onions really thinly for the garnish. We're gonna grab our bowl. And then our rice, of course. Because you can't eat anything Filipino without rice. Like, if you don't eat rice, you're not Filipino. Just FYI. Now we're just gonna pour this entire stew goodness all over that rice. So I'm gonna garnish it with first green onions, fried garlic, and then we're gonna add our fried tofu on top. And then we're gonna arrange the eggplant. And then lastly, we're gonna add our peanuts that we crushed earlier. There you go. Kare kare, vegan. Get like a tofu in there, some rice in there, and just it'd be so hot. Mmm. Mmm. So good. And of course you can eat it with the bagoong, which is a garlic black bean sauce. I promise you're not gonna miss the meat. Please make this and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Till next time, bye.